Welcome to my Fafatamim. Today we are going to do two integrals, and the first one is integral of x over 1 plus psi x going from 0 to pi, and the second one is x times psi power of 3x going from 0 to pi. And they look really similar, right? Because they both go from 0 to pi. I put this because you see why. And here's the deal. Both of these integrals, both of these integrals are indefinite integral, they actually can be integrated. Because I put the result of them in a Wolfram alpha, and it actually gave me the answers. So, but it will be very hard to integrate these two. And this one you may know how to integrate, but we are going to use some DI method. Put a D and I here, and then keep differentiating x1 until you get 0, but you are going to keep integrating psi power of 3x, and it will be too crazy, right? So how can we do this though? Today, these two integrals, we are going to use one integral's property. I don't know what it's called, but this, we are going to use these properties. Integral of f of x dx going from 0 to a, right? Remember this formula? This is equal to the integral of f of a minus x dx going from 0 to a. Right? You can let x is equal to something. I will remember it's a minus 0 or something. You will get this. So keep doing your substitution, you will get this. So we are going to use this formula. So here's the deal. I'm going to let I is equal to this, both this integral, because you see something happens next. So what it means, the integral of f of x going from 0 to a is equal to the integral of f of a minus x going from 0 to a. It means we need to put this a minus x inside the function. So this is just pi minus x, right? This is just pi minus x divided by 1 plus psi of pi minus x dx. So far, you will get the integral of pi minus x over 1 plus, and then psi of pi over x. This is just equal to psi x, right? You know that. So far, we can split to two different integrals. So put a pi outside the integral, you get pi times the integral of 1 over 1 plus psi x dx going from 0 to pi, and the minus, and then x over 1 plus x is just our original integral, right? We split to two different fractions. You can get the I here, so you get subtract I. So far, you can add I on both sides, and then divided by 2 on both sides, right? Add I to the left hand side, you get 2I is equal to this, and then divided by 2 on one side, you can get I is equal to pi over 2 times the integral of 1 plus psi x. So how to integrate 1 over 1 plus psi x going from 0 to pi? We're going to multiply by the conjugate of 1 plus x. It can help us as all. So 1 minus psi x. 1 minus psi x. So far you get pi over 2 times the integral of this. 1 minus psi x. And here, let me just do this in our head. 1 plus psi x multiplied by 1 minus psi x, you pretty much just get 1 minus psi square x. So 1 minus psi square x is just cosine square x, right? Let me write it down, cosine square x this. And then split it to two different integrals once again. You get pi over 2 times 1 over cosine square x is just secant square x this. And then minus distribute the pi over 2. And here's the deal, psi over cosine square x is really cool. Because you can write this as psi x over cosine x multiplied by 1 over cosine x. You can get tangent x times secant x, right? So I'm going to write as secant x times tangent x. Tangent x times secant x, they are exactly the same. So here you can get integrate secant square x, you get tangent x, right? Tangent x, evaluating from 0 to pi, and then subtract pi over 2 time, and integrate secant x times tangent x, you pretty much just get secant x. Don't write the integral, one second. Minus pi over 2 times secant x evaluating from 0 to pi. And here's the deal. Tangent of pi, if you are not sure, you can use your calculator, and then tangent of pi is equal to tangent of 180 degrees. But this, in our calculus, we are going to use some radian. It's the radian. Tangent of pi, you get 0, and then tangent 0, you still get 0. So far, you get 0 minus 0 here. It's nothing here. And then put it here. Secant pi is equal to 1 over cosine pi. 1 over cosine. And then cosine pi is just equal to -1. In front we have a negative, so far you get positive pi over 2. Plus 0 into it. And you're gonna minus the negative, right? You get positive. And this secant of 0 is equal to 1 over cosine 0. Cosine 0 is just 1. So far you get positive pi over 2 here. So pi over 2 plus pi over 2, you pretty much just get pi. Right? This is really, really cool. It's pi. If this indefinite integral, it will be really hard to solve. You can try it by your own, but I will leave it to you guys. So let me just go on to the second question. We are going to integrate x times psi of psi power of 3x going from 0 to pi. We are going to use these properties once again. You get 0 to pi, and then pi minus x times psi power of 3 of pi minus 6 dx. So far you get pi minus x times psi, just get the original right. Psi of pi minus x is just psi x, and then raise to the third power dx. Oh, wait a minute. It's not here. Clear again. So here, let me just skip it really quick. Just get pi times integral of from 0 to pi, and then psi power of 3x dx, and then this, you pretty much just get an I, right? Distribute this, you get minus I here. Get the original band, and then add I on both sides. Divided by 2, you get I is equal to pi over 2 times this. And how to integrate psi power of 3x? And psi power of 3x is really, really cool. We can write this as psi x times psi square x, right? Psi x times psi square x, you can write this as psi x multiplied by 1 minus cosine square x dx. So we can use our substitution here. That u is equal to cosine x. du will be equal to negative psi x dx. So we want a negative sign here, put a negative and then negative, you get negative pi over 2. Put 0 into it, you get 1. Put pi into it, cosine pi is just equal to negative 1. And then psi x, negative psi x, and that dx will become du. And then you pretty much just get 1 minus u squared. Right, du. And here's the deal. Thanks to this negative, we can change the limit. Just get pi over 2 times the integral of. We can also just distribute the negative, but I will just change the sign. Negative 1 to 1 of this integral. Deal. So here, let me just do this really quick. Pi over 2 multiplied by integrate 1, you get u. Integrate this, you get negative 1 over 3 times u power 3, going from negative 1 to 1. So let me just put 1 inside. I may use some calculator. Pi over 2 and then just factor out the pi over 2. 1 minus 1, because 1 power 3 is just 1 time that, just over you get 1 over 3. So 1 minus 1 over 3, you get 2 over 3. Put negative 1. And then we're gonna subtract that, right? Subtract that. So let me just calculate this and then subtract that. So let me draw where I subtract side and then negative 1 minus. So negative 1 power 3, you pretty much just get negative 1. So in front we have a negative, so over you get positive 1 over 3. So over you get negative 2 over 3. So over, here's the deal. 2 negative they become positive, and then 2 over 3 plus 2 over 3 is the same as 4 over 3, right? 4 over 3. So over you get pi over 2 times 4 over 3, and then this 2 and this 4, they simplify to this. So over you get 2 pi over 3. This is really cool, right? Yes, 2 pi over 3. And if this is an indefinite integral, you will spend a lot of time, I think. Yes. 2 pi over 3.